Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about a very special set, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you're probably saying, wait a minute, you've already reviewed this set, and that is true. That's why the title of this video today is a review, or a review. I used to own this set. I had it back close to release in 2011, and I eventually sold it, partially because I'm an idiot. And I came across this one, actually my girlfriend came across this one for an extremely good price, and I missed having it, so I picked it back up. So some basic info real quick. This is the 2011 LEGO Ultimate Collector Series Superstar Destroyer. It came out in 2011, as I just said. It has 3,152 pieces. As you saw in that last picture, it is 49 inches in length. I did not measure the width. It's not super wide. And it originally retailed for $400 US. As of the filming of this video, October 2019. These go for around $700 to $900 new. And the main reason I got this one again, even though I previously owned it, was because, like I said, my girlfriend was on Facebook Marketplace of all places and found a guy's like garage sale post. And he had this set, and it was in its original bags, sealed bags, no box, with all the figures he claimed and everything, the instructions. The only thing he didn't have was the stickers. So I had to order some stickers, but I picked this up out of my personal at a personal expense of $350. So $50 less than retail. And like I said, these can sell in mine was semi-new because it was bagged, but it didn't have a box, but we'll say it's new. Like I said, these sell for about $900. $700 to $900. So I could not say no to that price at $350. So had to pick it up. And it's been interesting I've never repurchased a set before, and it's been an interesting experience to kind of re-own a set. I've had a lot of Ultimate Collector sets now, and this one, when I originally had it, I was totally in love with it. I just thought it was the most amazing thing ever. And I still think it's really cool, but now that I've kind of rebuilt it and thought about it from a perspective of the current or more recent Ultimate Collector sets, a lot has changed on my perspective. The biggest problem with this set, if there's a negative, there's a big one, and that is the size of the vehicle itself. If this was a real vehicle, as you can see, it is supposed to be 19,000 meters in length. I don't know what the conversion to that is, but it's massive. I mean, this is a Star Destroyer, and this is supposedly to scale of how big this Superstar Destroyer is to a destroyer. And the problem with that, if there is one, is it's kind of impossible to capture a vehicle of this size in a tangible model. It should be bigger. It would be kind of ridiculous if this set was bigger, but it kind of needs to be. One of the main points that kind of bugs me, so this is supposed to be a Star Destroyer. This is the bridge, the flying bridge that has the shield generator points on the top. And this bridge is the same pieces they use for the Superstar Destroyer's bridge. These should not be the same size, but LEGO can't make these any smaller for the Superstar Destroyer, nor any bigger for the model scale destroyer. So you kind of lose a sense of scale. Then that's just an example. I mean, I'm still nitpicking here, but that is an example of kind of what is lost on a vehicle of this scale. And it does have it's hard to say if this is even detailing so much as it is just a bunch of stuff stuck on here to make it look like detailing. And it does if you look at it from this perspective. But when you get up close to it, it just kind of looks like stuck on pieces, as opposed to something like the new Millennium Falcon or even the new Star Destroyer. There's a lot more sculpting in the sets like that to really fit this in. There's also kind of a low angle here, and then it really rapidly builds up. So this is a great set. I don't want to say it's garbage or anything. This is still a great set. It looks really cool on a shelf. I just had some nitpicks now that I've kind of owned it twice and really thought about the design of it and what I enjoy and what I do not like as much. So that's kind of one element. It's actually a very easy set to display because it's relatively thin. It's not super wide, so it actually fits on shelves really easily. That's always nice. It's also a very easy ultimate set to build. There's not a lot of difficult pieces or parts. This stuff gets annoying to stick on. You know, your fingers are going to hurt after a while, but it's not too bad. And the best thing about this set, by far, from a collector and owner's perspective, you'll notice the underside is totally flat and it's very strong. So it's very, very easy to move this set around just by picking it up kind of wherever and moving it. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate that with one hand while holding the camera, but it's very easy. And these stands are very strong. There's nothing really loose on here. It's super sturdy. So big plus right there. It's very, very nice and easy to move. The original Star Destroyer was a nightmare to move. If you go back and watch my original video, I think I compare it to this one as well. That thing is a nightmare to move. And it's part of the reason I'm not upset about getting rid of that set and why I will be buying the new Star Destroyer at some point, because it looks like they've completely redesigned it and made it so much easier to move and live with. Because that is something to think about. I mean, if you ever have to clean a shelf that these big sets are on, it's a huge hassle to have to move them. So it's very nice. This one's super easy to move, very sturdy. Like I said, the build process is easy. It does take up a lot of space to build, but it's not bad at all. The other big negative of this set, I keep grabbing right here for a reason. Once you know this is here, you kind of can't unsee it. There is a section that lifts off, and it's just bizarre. This is kind of where these figures are supposed to go. So if we take Admiral Piet here, it's supposed to be like a staging area or a play area for the scene where Vader's meeting all the bounty hunters, which is why you have Dengar and Bosk and IG-88. But the figures don't fit in here standing up because it's not tall enough. So if you don't display these figures on the outside, you kind of just have to lay them in here and it's just strange. And it's a really small space in there too. So even if you try to do that, so even that won't sit down because it's hitting his hat. So you have to kind of bend him over, and then he doesn't look posed right. And now it seals, but you still have 4 other figures to stick in there. So this, I think, is really poorly designed area. It's just pointless. Like, just give me the vehicle, or give me a version of this with minifigures, but it doesn't need both. And you kind of can't unsee, at least I can't, unsee where this comes off. My eyes always kind of go directly to this area, knowing, excuse me, knowing that this comes off. So, I don't know. It's an interesting set. I would not have bought it had it not been so affordable. It is really cool to look at, for sure. I think it has one of the best, some of the best presence of any set. I don't know if I would pay the average $600 to $900 price. If you're a collector, if you really, really want this one, sure. But I don't know that it's worth $900, especially when, the Ultimate Falcon is still out and on the market for $800. The new Destroyer's out for $700. I don't know that I would recommend this set for $800 to $900. And to my knowledge, none of these figures are exclusive. I didn't really put a lot of research into that, but Vader obviously is not, and I would swear that a lot of these other figures have been in sets. So up to you, honestly. It's not a must buy. It is cool. I definitely have been talking about the negatives of it. It's definitely a cool set. I just don't know if it's worth it. I'll put it this way. I don't know if it would be at the top of my list. There's a few other Ultimate Collector sets that I'm getting or really, really want. The new Star Destroyer, the Ultimate B-Wing, which I think I've found one, and the Ultimate Shuttle. I really, really, really want the Ultimate Imperial Shuttle. And had I not bought this would probably be at the bottom of that list. It just doesn't offer... I don't think it's the best design they've ever come up with. I think, again, like I was saying, the size of this vehicle is not properly conveyed at this scale. Even at this scale, I mean, of course, it's never going to be remotely the size of what it's supposed to be, but I think they do a really good job at the Star Destroyer and a really good job at the Millennium Falcon, and I would vote for them to, Lego that is, I would vote for Lego to redesign this and re-release it. Maybe make it the first $1,000 set or something and really go back through and sculpt it in, change how this sharp angle kind of drops off into a pit or there's like a step down, a noticeable step. Sorry, I just flipped the camera sideways. Let's try that again. There's a noticeable step where this line comes across all throughout, which it looks fine. Again, it looks fine from here, but once you kind of start noticing things, you can see they didn't totally understand what to do. There's some gaps, a lot of gaps through here. So I would hope at some point this set gets a full re-release like the Star Destroyer did, because I think it's good, but I think they can do better. So that is my review. Real quick, just to give you a sense of scale, I'm not even going to edit this out. I'm just going to I brought this out for a sense of proportion. So you can see this is probably one of the other longer Ultimate sets. That's pretty much lined up. So that's how big this Star Destroyer is. It is just massive in length. I mean, the Y-Wing is very long, and it just doesn't even come close. It's probably 2.5 Y-Wings in length. But you can see, like I was saying, for the width, if we just see if I can do this without knocking something off. There we go. The Y-Wing is the same width. So this thing, if you can shelf something like this Y-Wing, I'm never going to find that again now with one hand. If you can shelf this Y-Wing, you can totally shelf this Destroyer. It's just up to you if you have 49 shelf inches to spare, because it is a beast. So that's kind of my re-review. I enjoy this set. I want them to redo it. I enjoy it especially at $350. If nothing else, if I stare at this for 2 more years and I say, you know what, I am good with it, I don't really want it anymore, I can still make good money off just reselling this. So not upset at all for paying $350. Would not buy it for $800 or $900, especially with what's available on the market right now. But it is cool, and if you have the income, I think it's worth considering. Just know that I don't think this is the best they can do. I would guess, without any knowledge or rumor or anything, this will get remade at some point. So that is my review. Like I said, I am hopefully securing an Ultimate Collector's B-Wing soon. That's one I've wanted for a really long time. As you know, I like kind of the weird sets, the weird vehicles. So I should have that soon, and I will be reviewing it. I also have a couple other, let's think about this, 2 other Ultimate Collector Series sets that I have never talked about or mentioned that I own. So that will be coming in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for those reviews. I will still pick up some of the brand new sets as well. I do want the new Kylo Ren Command Shuttle and probably just the new little A-Wing. I think it looks sweet. And I have a couple other reviews that are Lego but not Star Wars. So stick around if you want. Follow me on Twitter. It's got all the news of kind of when I'm making videos and my thoughts on a couple things as well. That'll give you some good channel news. And I appreciate you guys watching and sticking with me and listening to my rants. I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys.